Hello, it's Philip Taylor speaking from Richmond Green Chambers. I'm looking at a book from Oxford University Press. It's this book here. It's Gifts, a study in comparative law by Richard Hyland. Heavy book, about 700 pages long. You can see the way it's set out. Obviously standard stuff at the front from Oxford. Then various other bits and pieces. It's a learned publication, lots of footnotes, so beware if you don't like footnotes. Also, a very useful detailed index. It's an intellectual book without any doubt. I particularly like the bit on the legal concept of the gift, which makes up quite a large part at the beginning after the methodology section. And then it goes on to look at all sorts of different jurisdictions. My wife and I have written this review, and we thought it was interesting to start off with a little quote which most people would be aware of, and that is, it says, "Gifts. Should we be aware of Greeks or anybody else, for that matter, bearing them? Because this is the issue." We've started off by saying, diamonds may be a girl's best friend, but if she accepts them as a gift, the lass may need a lawyer if her relationship with the giver, by any chance, turns sour. And that's really where we're looking at it, because this covers a multitude of different types of jurisdiction, and it looks at the concept itself. Here is therefore a great, and we mean monumental, book on gifts, primarily the legal aspects and the ramifications of giving and receiving gifts across a representative range of Western cultures, from England, the US to Spain, France, Belgium and so on. India is also included as the world's largest English-speaking democracy with a common law tradition. We've also got references to Germany, Switzerland. So the perspective is legal and also fascinating because it's universal. Now, Hyland is happy to state that it's not just for lawyers. Conceivably, folk whose idea of reading a law book extends about as far as the novels of John Grisham might well find it a riveting read, despite the often challenging concepts and legal terminology therein, plus the footnotes. The book is indeed a work of what I would describe as formidable, retentive and scholarly mind. The research is massive. He's done a huge amount. It's very meticulous. The subject matter, as the subtitle indicates, comparative law, is obviously covering a much wider range. Certainly the whole issue that we've got here, and Hyland quite rightly highlights this, has intended to make this impressive work one of scholarship and erudition for four kinds of readers. 1, the lawyer or academic. 2, the writer or teacher. 3, professionals in disciplines other than law. And lastly, the individual who thinks about gift giving in a particular way, like from the perspectives of the humanities and the social sciences. So ever since those conniving Greeks fooled the Trojans with that infamous wooden horse full of warriors, it seems that certain legal minds have looked upon gifts bearing with suspicion. And here we're talking about matters political or dynastic, like gifts of valuable chattels or acreage. And the very first sentence of Gifts states the French revolutionaries abhorred gift giving. This book explores why the legal mind so often concludes that gift giving is a danger to society. And again, there are plenty of other examples which are very good in the bibliography and so forth. What is there about the authoritarian mindset that likes banning things, including the giving of gifts? This is one of the few questions that puzzles Hyland. Our advice is buy it, borrow it, but don't steal it. Somebody, a grateful colleague or client perhaps, might give it to you as a gift, and it will be interesting reading, certainly for Chancery practitioners. Thank you, Professor Hyland, and thank you, OUP. Bye-bye.